America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Big up. I am unmuted. I just had to double check. How are you doing? First and foremost, hope you are too blessed to be stressed, as am I, on such a beautiful Sunday. The Premier League is ramping up for the weekend, but they'll be back with some more matches. Tottenham Hotspur will be back, obviously, versus Everton. And look, I wanted to do something special for those of you who make the channel so special. You contribute monthly. Y'all are here supporting in the chat, whether you've been gifted or you subscribe every month to being a member. I am looking to do more stuff for the members. So look, without the members, quite frankly, I wouldn't have been able to pay for electricity or Wi-Fi. I keep looking at the light because, hey, y'all keeping that light on. So while you're keeping the light on, make sure you are hitting the like here. That's absolutely free. Doesn't cost you anything. But if you are a member, you can head on over to the community section of the United Spurs of America YouTube page. And in there is a link. I will post it again. You can call in and look. I have a special treat already. It is someone who is, shall I say, a contributor on a brother channel of United Spurs of America. So actually going to have a special co-host for you all today. And I already got one guest lined up in the back. So again, if you're a member, you want to come on, you want to chat for a few minutes, you got some questions you want to ask me, you want to talk about Tottenham just in general, that's what we're going to do. So just want to say big up to everybody who's already tapped in. Let me say hello to the chat before I bring out my surprise co-host. It's a surprise because it's a surprise for me. And guess what? What a delightful surprise for you. So again, there is the link if you want to grab a membership or not, you could just hang out in the chat and let us know. But big up Drunk Vigo, big up Scott M, Ryan Bond, I see you in the house. Big up Chang. Little foreshadowing, may or may not get a surprise appearance. First debut on the show from a longtime contributor, good friend of the channel. So can't wait to talk to him. Spurs GCTV in the house. How are you doing? Ellie, just a girl who loves Spurs. First of all, Ellie, hope you're feeling better. Big up to you. Says, hey, Jacob, the voice of Silk will always be entertaining us all. That's for sure. Big up to your member show. Hey, it's the first one. Let's have a good time. I think that got this background music a little too loud. So, look, while the members are joining in the back, let me go ahead and bring on a surprise attack. And I kind of rhymed there. Look at that. We've got Ash. How are we doing, Ash?
Hello, everyone. It's so great to be on Jacob's channel. I get to meet Jacob and Chewy and everyone else that I've been talking to in the chat. It's amazing.
Yeah, Chewy's here. You're here. I saw you had your debut show on Talking Ball with Call. So big ups. I enjoyed that. Great. I really enjoy what the collabs y'all been doing over there. So really glad, first of all, that you called into the show. And then secondly, that you're allowing me to say, hey, you want to co-host this thing with me and say hello to some members of United Spurs of America? You're always in the chat. You're always providing good vibes. So, and I'm enjoying your show. So first and foremost, is that... What can I tag in the title for you? Should I tag Talking Ball? Do you have something you want me?
Tag Talking Ball.
All right, I will do that. Well, while I do that, let's go ahead and bring out our first guest, Ash, shall we?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, I don't know the best way to introduce this man other than he has been sprinkling blessings upon me as if he was a snow cloud full of the most powdery snow in the Aspen Hills. We've got Chang all the way from the other side of the world. Chang, how are you doing, my friend, first and foremost? And secondly, thank you for joining.
Good morning, everybody, from Southeast Asia. It is, let's see now, it's 7 a.m. here on a beautiful Monday morning. I cannot thank you enough, Jacob, for even giving me this very special privilege to make my debut on your show. And greetings as well to Ash Padmaraj over there in India. And also a big welcome to all the viewers on this channel here. It's been a very, 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 shall we say, productive weekend for Spurs in general. a resounding 2-0 win away in Nottingham Forest, and we have the festive fixtures coming up, which should more than excite, let's put it this way, for any Spurs fans looking to sink their teeth into some toffees just before Christmas. So we have that to look forward to.
Absolutely.
And just let me say, for the record, before we get into any topics or any questions that any of the members may have, or even any of the viewers, my whole objective, or should I say, the thing that I would like to bring forward to Jacob's channel and also United Spurs of America in general, all these membership giftings, all the super chats, all the messages that I sent out, the whole let's say the whole goal moving forward for this channel and Jacob as a whole is to bring more Spurs members, regardless if we are from America or the Americas or from Europe, like me and Ash from Asia. We were trying to unite them, as the channel's title suggests, United Spurs. But in this case, it's not just of America, it's global. And there are some very interesting channels out there which have already done this from a few years back. I'm going to mention We Are Tottenham TV, of course, who their watch-alongs, their content, the reviews, the previews, things done by both Ben and Simeon over there.
Yeah, Ben and Sim,
London,
good friends of the
UK.
channel. They've been having me on over there.
What they have been doing over there, I can only hope would somehow transfer over here to United Spurs of America. And the other thing which really intrigued me about your channel, Jacob, is when you had that title, United Spurs of America. The first thing that actually came to mind when I saw that was this. I actually view your channel in particular as a sort of a platform or a sort of a hearthstone for all of America, not just Dallas, Texas, or El Paso, or places like Denver, Colorado. I'm talking about all 50 states of America, all Spurs fans, wherever you may be watching, tuning in from America. Use this channel as maybe a watch-along channel for future live viewings, or even a sort of like talking show, kind of like this, but with maybe regular guests from all different 50 states. It could be from Milwaukee, Indianapolis, Tennessee, New York, New Jersey, LA, wherever you may be from. Use this as a platform for all of American Spurs fans to come in, contribute, and maybe even do something special together for all of American Spurs fans in general. Before Michael and Jacob bring things to the next level, which will be global.
Hey, I appreciate that first and foremost. And look, you've been a long-time supporter of the channel here. You've gifted a lot of people memberships. And you know what? When I made the channel, the name, I just was like, well, isn't that a silly acronym? USA, United Spurs of America, instead of United States of America. I thought it was a clever play on words, and sometimes I find myself quite clever. But I was, it's funny because as I started doing it, and then I was talking with people from the UK, then I'm talking with people from different parts of Europe, and now the both of you here from Asia and then Australia, and it's like, I mean, really, it feels like United Spurs of the world. And to me, that's part of the thing that I think makes it most special for me, because I've always been one of those people like, the best way to learn in life is to experience things that you have not experienced. And so when I listen to Ash speaking on Talking Ball, or now I get to speak to you, or I have people in the comments from all different walks of life and all different, not even Spurs fans. Look, Hugo's here. He's an Arsenal fan. Big up Hugo. Big up Minchie. I know she's a Spurs fan, but look, I just think that the internet is such a cool thing. It can be a cool thing at times, in the sense that it can unite people from all walks of life and all parts of the world. And so honestly, just appreciate you being here. And as I'm kind of sitting here and I'm just like why would I make somebody who's a member of the channel sit in the background? This is a little segue here. I figured, why not? Instead of trying to be like, okay, well, that's 5 minutes, bye, Chang. Why don't you just hang out? You can leave when you want to leave. I'm going to bring on the next guest that's in the background because you know what? I see him sitting back there and I'm just like, why not just bring him on? Why not just have a little members party? What's up, Mike? He's not even a Spurs fan. But,
No.
hey,
Hey, Mike.
how you
Hi,
doing?
Mike.
What's going
I
on,
see you
guys?
blurred
What's
your
going on?
background. Is that to distract folks from the crooked pictures that lie on your wall, or
No,
what is that?
no. I haven't made my bed, so I'm not going to show everyone my unmade bed. Actually, it's funny because you can see the outline of the pictures, and they're in fact not that crooked. It's just this one is a little crooked. I think it's just because when I walk, the foundation of my house shakes. So I think I think I need to just like reframe.
Your house shakes. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The
I just
foundation
need
of
to-
your house.
You don't look that heavy, Mike.
No.
What are we
No.
doing
I'm
here?
I'm not. I just I'm very heavy-footed, at least in my room. Listen, this house it was an old tobacco barn, right? So it's not a modern
Wow.
build. Yeah. So
Very cool.
but yeah,
Learn
listen,
something new every day.
exactly. Enough about my
Tobacco barn. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It used to be over 100 years ago, and then they expanded it, and then now we're here. But either way, just wanted to call in, big up. I know you're doing your first call-in show, so I figured why not? Just,
Yeah, I did, and I
say
did
hello.
mislead everyone with my plugging of the show because I said, "Hey, why don't you come on for a one-on-one?" And then literally before the show started, I was like, "Hey, Ash, you want to co-host with me?" I was like, "Okay," and then I was like, "Cool." And then Chang was on, and I saw you in the back. I was like, why would I just like make you wait to come hang out? Why don't we just have a hangout? And then if we reach maximum capacity, at that point, maybe someone will leave and allow the next. Let's do it that way. It is the first ever, so.
Giant party for Jacob's global domination.
Yeah.
I'll have to like and subscribe for that, and like tell your friends about it as well, so that Jacob can have global domination at some point.
If this
Well,
is
maybe not
if this is
domination, but maybe global communication is what I would say. Because all I like is the communication between, hey, we all love the beautiful sport first and foremost. Some of us happen to love more beautiful clubs than others. Sorry about that, Mike. But look,
Okay.
did Ash, Chang, did y'all happen to see the United versus Liverpool? I just want to kind of talk about that real quick because we do have a Liverpool fan here, and I thought maybe we could share our thoughts and then get his thoughts. I know he does have some things he wants to talk about, but Ash, did you happen to see Manchester? It was touted as this great game. This is going to be the game of the week. This is such a historic rivalry that we
It was
all
going to be
must tune in.
the ending of Ten Hag. I heard.
I heard that too.
I guess he gets a respite for a little while, poor Ten Hag. But I'm kind of happy about it because, we have to go to Anfield at some point, and that game's just going to be a crazy game simply because of what happened in the previous game. So I like to see
That's a good point.
Anfield quiet down a little bit. It's a good sign to see Anfield quiet down a little bit. So waiting for that to happen. But it was a boring game. Like Liverpool had the ball, but no chances. United didn't have the ball, but they had just one chance, two maybe chances. So honestly, it was a little bit of a waste of time to watch it as a Spurs fan. If you're not invested in the game, then you're just like, oh, what is happening? But
I was very
was all
bored.
right.
Yeah, I was very bored. I was very, very bored. Chang, did you get the moment to watch this epic Hollywood feature film of a clash of titans as it was sold? Did you get a chance to witness that?
As much as I would have liked to have been able to watch that, so that I would have had something to bounce off here on this channel on this Monday morning. Unfortunately for me, because of the time zones and because of the time of the schedule of the match itself. Hi, Nick Pie.
G'day, guys.
Look at this.
Sorry.
Well,
festive.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Got to get
but
into the spirit.
what
Hi,
a
Ash.
double!
Hi,
what a-
Chang. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike's moustache. And hi, Jacob.
We do have to say hello to Mike's mustache. Nate, it is great to have. Look, Ash is debuting. Chang is debuting. Nate is debuting. Mike, this is your debut, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I have never been on your channel. No.
Wow. Well, look at this today. I wish I had a Santa's hat because I would be wearing one instead. I'm wearing what I call my floppy Ndombele hat. If you know, you know. But
I'll
sorry,
take it.
Chang. Continue with what you were saying.
Sorry, as I was saying, because of the kickoff time, it was about midnight on the Monday morning here, and because of the timing also of this live calling show, I figured, you know what, I might as well give it a miss and catch up on the highlights when I do wake up just before this show. And can I just say how the producers or whoever it is who's in charge of doing the compilations, like the match summary, how how they managed to even find 2 minutes of content for this match in particular just amazes me, because not to say that it was completely a bore fest or like watching paint dry if you're watching on TV. The chances were few and far between, and for me, the only outstanding thing I could say from watching the highlights of that match were the 2 back-to-back yellow cards for Diogo Dalot that ended up
That was
with a
weird.
standing
I've
off.
never really seen
Yeah, that was
anything like that.
that was
really weird.
It was kind of strange to watch. Maybe I didn't see what led to it or the build up towards those 2 yellow cards, because like I said, it was from the highlight reel from that match. But if that sending off right at the very end of the match was the highlight of the match, I would say that it was a missed opportunity, so to speak, for Liverpool to climb back up to the top of the table. I'm not trying to take a dig here at anyone who might be watching in.
You should. You should.
You
If
should.
it's Liverpool or United, you should. Yeah.
Hit us while we're down, right? Hit us while we're down.
Oh, okay. Not to cause any offense here, Mike, but
Do it.
I can honestly foresee a very close fight for top 4 come the end of the season in about half a year's time from now. So things like this, teams above Spurs, teams above Aston Villa or Newcastle or whichever team that fancies themselves for a top 4 finish, it is fixtures and results like this where it's almost like a win-win situation for anyone who has eyes on the prize of a top 4 finish come the end of the season. And if this carries on for other top clubs like Manchester City, Arsenal, or even Villa, and for rival fans like Mike himself, maybe he's hoping for Spurs to come unstuck against the Toffees, a day or 2 before Christmas. These are the kinds of fixtures that I think will make or break any top 4 clubs season. And it's going to be a very, very, very interesting second half of the season once the January transfer window opens for any club.
Yeah, I agree. It is going to be very interesting. I'm going to throw it to Mike here because he's the Liverpool fan. I'm curious, just a few things, Nate. But before you answer, Nate, tell me real quick: did you watch the epic clash of titans? Manchester United, led by the none other Dutch wonderkind. Can I call him a wonderkind? Eric Ten Hag. Did you see it, Nate?
I didn't, mate. It's I think it's 3:30 a.m. kickoff.
You missed one for the record books, my friend.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I'll be watching the highlights later.
You have to watch all 90 minutes. The highlights don't do it justice, my friend. Mike, speaking of doing it justice, I'm going to allow you. I feel like you have some things you want to say.
Yeah.
I want to know what you got to say about the match, because I watched it and I was unimpressed. I thought, is this a matter of there is actually a lot of people who can grab the Premier League this year because everyone's rather weak at this moment? I mean, City drawing to Palace after they were up 2-0, that's pretty crazy to me. Obviously, drawing 0-0 with United when everyone kind of expected a Liverpool dominance. Spurs getting 3 points. Talk to me nicely every single time. Mike, what did you make of the Your team's performance today.
Yeah.
Where did it go wrong?
Listen, I'm not going to go crazy in depth because at the end of the day, this is a Spurs channel, and it's not all about Liverpool. But everything that happened today is not new
Wait,
to
it's not?
today.
It's not
Uh,
all about
and
Klopp would
everything
tell you
that
the different. He'd tell
yeah,
you something different.
he would, and there would definitely still be some salty people talking about the red card. But you know what? Alas, we move on, we move forward.
Eric
It's
Ten
okay.
Hag and Doss. That's a good one, Shamu.
Listen, everything that happened today was not isolated to today, right? Today was not some sort of like anomaly, right? We have our forwards have 1 goal in 5 games. So, am I surprised that we didn't score again? No. Against a low block? No, I'm not surprised. Are we good against relegation sides? Last time I remember, I think we have 4 wins in the last 3 years over newly promoted sides. And essentially, United went out today and they played like a newly promoted side. They sat in a low block with 10 behind the ball, and they said, "You know what? We're going to take our 2 or 3 opportunities. Hopefully, we cash one of those in. But at the end of the day, we'll 100% take a draw." And if Rasmus Højlund wasn't Rasmus Højlund, they probably would have scored one. Liverpool have been very stagnant. The midfield is slow. The ball progression is slow. The forwards are not productive. The system is not working. Diaz clashes with Nunez. Salah clashes with Nunez. There's no width. Everyone's trying to build centrally. We play U-ball, as I like to call it. The ball goes to Tsimikas, and then it comes back to Konate, and then it goes to Virgil van Dijk, and then it goes down to Trent, and then it comes back, and we just draw big old U's on the pitch the whole time.
Well, there was, admittedly, I did see a few moments where Chewy, the show just started. You absolute fraud. You cannot leave at this moment. He's sniffing around at the door now. I don't know what he's thinking this is. But look, there were a few moments where I remember once Mohamed Salah was on the left. Tsimikas made an overlapping run. He did not pass it. I don't see that as Jurgen Klopp's fault. And then another time on the right, Cody Gakpo, you know what? I'm going to save myself because I was going to come up with some very childish names there. Okay. But I'll save that for the FIFA streams, Nate. Look, there was a time, I can't remember who it was, but Cody Gakpo had someone was making the overlapping run and he didn't pass it either. Now, is that Jurgen Klopp's fault for not teaching them, hey, when you see that run? To me, he was teaching, at least the tactics were to make those runs. But whose fault is it for not making those passes?
Listen, I'm not trying to say that the players are playing well because they're not, right? Like, no player deserves praise after today. But ultimately, we had 33 shots and 1 big chance created, right? The issue here is that the play styles are clashing together and they're not cohesive, and there's a lot of sloppy play and there's a lot of sloppy built up, and we produce nothing but half chances. People are yelling at Nunez for not running after the ball after Diaz went down. There's no guarantee that Nunez even gets to that ball, let alone turns it around and scores. People are acting like Nunez literally let the ball 3 feet in front of him.
Richarlison chases that down. I'm just saying.
Listen, I understand, right? And yes, there are times where Mohamed Salah could have laid it off, but again, that's not a clear-cut chance. Ultimately, the problem is the buildup, and it's not isolated to this game, right? And that's the difference between me and other fans. Other fans want to just every week of all clubs, they want to sit there and they want to just look at today's game like it's a pigeonhole, and they isolate all of their arguments to this little pigeonhole, and they don't look at the broader problem, right? It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. You don't realize that you've been shot. You just understand that you're bleeding, okay? I want to address the wound as a whole and understand the fact that this system is not producing anything other than individual moments of brilliance from players, which are getting us over really poor teams. Like, Crystal Palace sucks. Sheffield United sucks. Fulham sucks. I needed individual moments of brilliance to beat those terrible teams. And then I meet a team that is of some quality but is in awful form, and I produce nothing. I produce 1 big chance the whole game, and you're going to tell me that the players are just not good enough. Dude, this has been going on for weeks, and it's down to instruction because the play styles clash. And yes, they could be doing better, and we should have scored because United suck as well, and we do have players that are class, but it's the best argument I could say. Are you going to be mad at a Fiat for not being a Ferrari? Like, no, I understand what a Fiat is. And if I utilize a Fiat, I can get a lot out of that car. But if I try to drive it like a Ferrari, I'm never, ever, ever going to do anything. And right now we don't have a Fiat. Like, let's just say we have a Lamborghini, but I'm trying to use it like it's a Formula One car. Like, I don't have the Formula One car. I'm not going to beat that car. I might maybe, cut it out on some turns. I might get lucky every now and then. Maybe I'll win a race, but long-term sustainability, it's not happening, which is basically all I'm saying. And I'm sure you guys can see the same things in your own club, in your own performances. You had a disappointing performance against Aston Villa that you should have won. You had a disappointing performance against West Ham that you should have won. It's the same thing, right? Albeit you have your own different reasons, but I don't know. I view the game differently from other people, and I will always trump the manager over the players because these players are told to play certain ways. Darwin Núñez is not a back-to-goal striker, but he's being told to play that way. So am I going to get mad at him for playing in a way that doesn't suit him? No, I'm not. Like, would you would you get mad at Son for playing as a 10? Like, seriously.
Good
I
point.
wouldn't get
Very
mad
good
for
point.
Son playing no matter where he plays. Real quick, I have another
But yeah.
guest to bring on. Another debutant from down under. Nate, your time zone, maybe, because I don't know. Australia's got a whole bunch of different time zones. But we've got Ren as well joining the party. Hello, Ren.
Hi,
Hello,
hi,
Ren.
everyone. Hello.
Big up.
Yeah, it's
What a number show.
9:40 on a Monday morning, and we are currently in the middle of a heat wave. So this is really fun. Yeah.
That's right, because winters is actually hot and summers are cold in Australia because everything's all flip-flop. That's right.
Yeah.
But big up. And welcome to the
right.
show. Welcome to the
Thank
channel.
you very
I feel-
much.
I'm like, hey, I don't even know where to throw the first question. So, Nate, I haven't heard you talk at all yet, really, except for the Santa's hat. So I'm going to ask you, when you look at the Premier League and you see just, I mean, we're 6 points away from the top of the table right now. And really that things can change in a moment of 10 days. So do you see this as kind of everyone's kind of fumbling the bag, or maybe everyone's so good that, to me, I think everyone's just been kind of poor.
I was really surprised by the results this morning. Really expected Liverpool to get up. I was really hoping Brighton would get up as well. So I think it's anyone's. It's early days. We've got a lot of injuries. We've had plagued with suspensions and injuries, and we're still in there. So it'd be really interesting to see how it pans out over the next few months.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting. Ren, did you happen, I don't know what time it would have been for you or Nate, but did you happen to catch what I'm calling the Clash of Titans, Manchester United and Liverpool?
No, I didn't watch the whole game. I was up at like 5:55, and I went to the gym, and I was like just watched the highlights, and I was like fast forwarding, and I did not expect it to be 0-0 at the end. I was super surprised. It was like everyone was going fast because I was fast forwarding so much. But yeah, it was surprising. I really thought Liverpool was going to get up over them.
Yeah. Well, look, in an effort to not talk too much about Liverpool, because in fact they did not get a W this weekend, we can talk about those of us who did get a W this weekend. So Ash, I'm going to go to you real quick, and I'm going to ask you, 2-0 away from home at Nottingham Forest. Was it a matter of resiliency, or was it a matter of maybe we just should have more quality than Nottingham Forest on the day? How did you see the match going? Obviously, we're thrilled with the 3 points, right?
Yeah, I'm ecstatic about the 3 points. And, honestly, Notts Forest, I know everybody says that it's, we should have gotten the win because, we have more quality and all of that. But the thing is, they're always good. They're always decent at home, and it's always a tough game. It's never an easy game. We generally beat them, but it's never easy. So, I'm just glad that we managed to go there. We did a job that we were supposed to do, and we got the 3 points. Yeah, we lost some players along the way, but I don't want to talk about that. We won. We move on to the next. Chop down the forest. On to some toffees.
Well, you brought up. I know we don't want to talk about necessarily the losses. Yves Bissouma. I have to bring up Yves Bissouma. Ren, I'm gonna throw it back to you real quick. Yves Bissouma.
Yeah.
Is he? What? I don't even know how to frame the question, if I'm honest.
I find this really hard because I love the aggression. Like I love playing. I love playing like that, and I think that might be a little bit different to other supporters and fans, and they get a little bit worried about it. But I just want everybody, not us, but like us, to smash everybody. I just think that's how the game. I don't know. Maybe it's different in Australia, but that's how it's kind of played here. I don't know, Nate. Do you find that? Do you think that's like it's a little bit different here in Australia with the aggression? We kind of said a little bit differently some of the other people.
No, not too much. I don't think anyway. I don't watch a massive amount of A-League. I'm
talking more about like the lower leagues. That's what I'm talking about. So maybe I'm doing it from that lens. Well, we'd all just go smash everybody. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask about this because I think that's fine. Whatever. Like people should toughen up.
You know, I do see both sides of it. Yeah, what's up, Mike?
Okay, so there's the potential that Yves Bissouma does not play for you until March.
Yeah,
right?
I know, I get it. Yep,
right.
I totally get it.
I think
yeah.
it is.
Well, no, you have to factor in how long he's in AFCON for.
Yep.
Right. Like if they get eliminated early,
Mali don't typically go very deep in that though.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But regardless, right? We're looking at February. So listen, I understand he's a great player on the pitch when he's on the pitch, but the problem is he's not on the pitch, and availability is the best thing. Right? Like so.
Yeah, I get it.
He will do a job though. I mean, he's not the greatest, but I think he'll do a job. And there's also the window as well. We've got a deep midfield, so we've got options. I feel.
I hear it.
I get it. I totally understand that kind of argument. Totally, completely understand. But I just don't care. Like I don't know if it's something about. I just don't care.
I hear that argument. Ash, you wanted to add something on there about Bissouma?
Yeah. So the thing is, if a player is aggressive and they're giving 100% when they're on the pitch and they're great at it, say for example Romero. Romero is an excellent defender. His passing ability is pretty underrated. Everything else is underrated. So I personally love Romero so much. I'm willing to excuse the one or two casual tackles that are there that sometimes become reds. Also, he has a reputation now, so referees go hard on him. But with Bissouma, he needs to give me that every game. So he needs to play like prime Bissouma in every game, irrespective of who plays with him in the midfield, for me to give him that credit in the bank. For him, to sort of have those lapses in attention, or the first red he got was for simulation. I don't like diving. It's not a thing I enjoy. Like that's cheating to me. Simulation is something I don't agree with. So those sort of things I'd like to see him cut out of the game. If he was to be giving me 100%, he was playing prime Bissouma, he gets a red card once in, say 10 games, I'm okay with that. But he doesn't.
Yeah. Chang, I want to ask your opinion here. Yves Bissouma, a lot of people say Luton is the point in which he started to drop off. The first 8 matches, he was really giving us the best version of Bissouma. I was like, oh, he's taking his game to the next level, because we all seen what he did with Brighton. Every time we played Brighton, he was a crutch in our hip. And when we signed him, I'm still very excited of him as a player. But he's shown the moments where he's going to take a bad card, so to speak. Where are you at with Bissouma? Do you want to give him some more time to come into better form, or how do you see the situation?
With regards to Bissouma, I have my reservations as to his future, whether it's in the starting 11 or in the squad. I think he still can be a player that is will be of massive contributions to the club, especially if the likes of Højbjerg and Lo Celso are looking to leave just before the Euros or even the Copa America starts back around. But for Bissouma, I think it's a matter of just getting him to bring down that energy level, that recklessness, and just get him to be level-headed Bissouma as when he was back in the day with Brighton before his move to N17. For
Everyone
Bissouma,
okay? That was a very alarming noise.
For Bissouma,
That scared me. Sorry.
I thought it was Chewy. That wasn't Chewy. That wasn't from your end, Jacob. That's not Chewy.
No, he's sitting
What's
by the
going
door.
on? Is it a ghost?
No.
Mike's house.
Not here.
Slamming his keyboard. That's what I'm
Mike
blaming.
Duster's foundation's moving, I think.
Yeah. There's a giant beanstalk that's just been walking in my room.
Hey, first of
It
all,
could
real
be-
quick check, finish, but over 100 people in the house, all over all platforms, whether you're watching on Twitter, X, YouTube, Twitch, big up yourself. Make sure you're hitting a like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Follow, hitting a like and subscribe on the YouTube is absolutely free. How many likes are we on, y'all? I see 56 likes. Damn, y'all hating on me tonight, but 88 votes. So that's about 30 of y'all that voted but didn't want to partake in the liking of the video. And there goes Ren. I think she's probably got a phone call or something. But look, we'll keep going. Chang, please finish what you were saying.
Okay,
Hit the
so,
like button one time for the one time.
My final thoughts on Bissouma before we move forward here. So far, in the limited few appearances that he's made for Spurs throughout this season, the best of him I felt was whenever he does play alongside Pape Matar Sarr, and that has been a big defining arc for his performances on the pitch. My hopes for Bissouma going forward, not only for his Spurs career, but for Spurs as well in general in all competitions, is that if he could just get that level-headed mindset into his game and cut down on all these divings, the aggressive challenges, the needless yellows that will amount to suspensions, I believe we still have a player in him. He does remind me a lot of a Moussa Dembele. The way he's playing, the way he tries to just bring it to the opposition. It'll be very, very interesting to note that he's going to be a big miss. Don't get me wrong. So when he does come back, I'm really expecting big things of him going forward.
Yeah, I think the expectations have got to be high for him as a guy who's kind of underperformed at this point. Mike, let me ask you as a rival, you know, the first 8 matches I was banging my chest. You know me, how shameless I was.
Yeah,
I was like, Declan who?
I got you.
Declan who?
Got
and
you.
Now it's a little bit different. Where do you sit as a rival?
Listen,
Bissouma?
I mean, listen, on Spurs as a whole, I've never been the guy to slag you guys off. You know what I mean? We had our unfortunate situation that happened at your stadium, but outside of that, you guys have been good, and you guys just got a little bit unlucky. But even with the injuries that you've had, you've still been like you've for the most part been in your own, like, you've kind of been at charge. You know, if that makes sense. The only game that I'd say that you were really dominated during this whole injury crisis was the Wolves game. Outside of that, your loss to Villa was pretty much at your own hand. Your loss to West Ham was at your own hand. You drew against City. You beat Forest. So you guys have been able to keep things moving, if that makes sense. And I think that Bissouma has helped you keep things moving. The problem is that how often is he on the pitch, and what's that disciplinary action going to look like in the future? You know what I mean? Like, if he continues to repeat this way, you're going to have to start looking at other options. You know what I mean? Like, you need depth, and at this point, you already need to go out there and buy a center back in January, because you don't, or at least I believe, based on what I heard about Ange talking. And yeah, I mean, listen, to me, availability is everything. And if someone has a disciplinary problem or an injury problem, I'm always going to put them to the wayside of people who are healthy. That's why I don't really rate Reece James, because he's never on the pitch. And so I could never acknowledge this argument of Reece James is the best right back in England, because Reece James can't start 3 games in a row. So it's kind of like the same thing with Bissouma. When Bissouma's in, he's quality, but how often is he going to be in? And also, is he going to threaten you with making an ill challenge? Kind of like Romero does, but I would say that Romero has not been the same recklessness as he has in the past, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. Same.
I know he's
definitely not as reckless.
He's your boy. He's your boy.
It's definitely not as boneheaded as people make out to be. I would say people say he's like a hate kind of guy. He's dirty. They said he's dirty. I heard he was all these type of things. I just don't think it's true. When you look at the guy like Christian Romero, I really just find a lot of redeeming qualities in which I find so entertaining to watch as a player. Now, we have been infiltrated by an Arsenal supporter, but a supporter of the channel nonetheless. Hugo, first of all, welcome to the channel. Another debutant on the day. But big up. And do you have anything nice that you want to say to Romero real quick?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say big up, Jacob. Thanks for having me on. Thanks, Nate, for the membership. Now I get to troll Jacob a lot more.
That's what it's about. Get a membership, you get to do some trolling. But
also, I'm sorry. I was hearing everybody talk about their teams, but we're not talking about the team that's top of the table.
Well, hey, I thought we don't look at tables in December.
There were no Arsenal fans in here. There were no Arsenal fans here.
Yeah.
That's why I had to jump in.
You know,
there
you go.
Well, hey, I didn't. I said I was going to wake up and watch Arsenal versus Brighton, but then I woke up and I saw the first half was 0-0. I was like, this is going to be some boring game. And then I rolled back over eventually again, and I saw Gabriel Jesus is trying really hard to surpass Richarlison in Premier League goals, but he just quite isn't there yet. But what did you make of Arsenal's match? This is a member. Did anyone else catch the Arsenal's match other than Hugo? Because Nate's shaking his head. Ash, I don't see a head shake. Chang's shaking his head. Mike's no. Ash,
not head him.
I did watch League Gunners.
Well, I tell you what, it was
my bad.
Honestly, I didn't.
Go ahead, Mike.
They're so boring. I can't watch them.
Yeah, exactly. I was just watching Lee Gunner rip you guys apart during his I woke up a little late. I woke up like halfway through your game. Lee Gunner.
You were watching who?
Destiny Adoshi. Oh yes. Oh, Destiny Adoshi Day. Hey. Idiots, man.
Yep. That same guy. But listen, bro. Listen. He for all. Listen. He talks facts about Arsenal, right? And from the little bit that I watched, and from what I was hearing from him, again, just another performance where you could have you could have produced a lot more. You got the win. You got the 2-0. But there should have been a lot more there. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I felt like we missed a lot of chances, especially like in the first 10 minutes. Saka had like 2 or 3 crosses into the box, and there was just nobody there.
If you don't mind me asking,
Gabriel Jesus go ahead, Chen.
I actually have a quick question here for both Mike and Hugo. Seeing as the big clash between Liverpool and Arsenal is a week's time from today, on Christmas Eve, how are both of you sizing that fixture up? Please keep in mind that I'm sure Mike is going to tell us all that Liverpool have a quarterfinal to come against West Ham, I believe in 3 days' time. That's just 3 days before their top of the table clash with Arsenal. So what are your thoughts, both of you, of this massive top of the table clash going into the Christmas Eve festive fixtures?
Hugo, you want me to go first? Or you want to go first since you won this week?
So go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So listen. I think that the one thing where I have in my hand is that the game against West Ham in the midweek is at home, right? Just personally, I feel that West Ham are a different team away from home than they are at home. I would, if I had to go to the London Stadium and I had to play West Ham there, and Klopp was actually trying to pursue that, I would have my reservations. But they're coming to Anfield, and I think that we'll be able to at least get a result. But if we don't, I just want to see a performance, right? Like it's not the end of the world to me if we get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. It is what it is, right? I mean, we didn't really care about it for many seasons, and then we won it during the whole quad chase thing. And since then, I still haven't really seen the same care. This used to be a tournament where we would just throw only youth players. That's what I saw for the first 4 or 5 years of Klopp's tenure. But for the Arsenal game, I think that Arsenal have a huge opportunity. I think that if we go out and we play the way that we did with the same lineup, the same horrible in-game management, the same horrendous tactics, if we go out there and our forwards yet again fail to score, Arsenal can easily nick a 2-0, a 3-0. Because if that were Arsenal today, and Arsenal sat back and they just played a low block and they hit us on the counter, their quality up front would bag goals. Now, if Arsenal come to Liverpool and Mikel Arteta tries to play this, tiki-taka, beautiful game, if he tries to come at us, I think that we'd have more of a chance of if they sat back in a low block, but I don't think that they're going to sit back in a low block. And because of that, I think it's going to be kind of this wide open game where we're both hitting each other on the break, because I just don't see Arteta as that guy, even though it's the smart thing to do. The smart thing to do would be to come here and not play attacking football and let me lose to myself, because I'm toothless. I'm not going to pick you apart in possession. It's not going to happen. And I know that you will be able to pick me apart in transition. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. It's very highly dependent on the lineup and the tactics, but also not just me, but what Arsenal and Arteta bring to the table.
Very nice. Tim Leonard says Liverpool can can play their U18s and beat West Ham.
I don't know about that.
But apparently Anfield's this fortress where Onana, quote, says, "I felt nothing."
It's quiet.
Found that quite interesting, because I was wondering where that atmosphere was today a little bit, if I'm honest. It was very loud for like the first 20 minutes or so, and then after that it was pretty quiet. And I'm wondering if Anfield is falling. Maybe it's falling down. I don't know, but
probably.
Hugo, did you want to go ahead and answer the original question, to which I could not tell you what it was?
Yeah. Well, I can agree somewhat with Mike. Well, Mike was think we should go in there and try to play our tiki-taka football. I mean, it's not like we're playing tiki-taka football right now, but I think sitting back, hitting them on the counters would probably be our best chance, especially with our strikers not firing right now. I would say our defense is our best asset right now. So, have a good defense, strong defense, and try to hit him on the counters with Martinelli, Saka, and hopefully Jesus can score.
Remind me, how many does Martinelli have, more or less, goals than the Pigeon? Yay or nay? I'm just asking. There's two Brazilians in the striking force, in which Mike has said, and the quality up front of Arsenal will pick us apart, quote unquote, as I just heard him say. And then I'm wondering, 2 out of these 3 blokes up front, they ain't even past Richarlison's Premier League goals. Now I'm wondering, from an Arsenal perspective, is Richarlison just that much more quality, or is Gabriel Jesus and Shartnelli just not that good?
They're just not in form right now.
Can't score goals. But, it's the form. Okay.
But he scored twice after that, or 3 times after
that. I love it. Honestly, as long as Richarlison has more Premier League goals than the 2 of them bozos, I'm never going to stop. I don't care what the narrative, the argument is. I've got another guess.
Long may that be the case. Long may that continue.
Big up, cute.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Did you want to come in here and troll Mike? I don't know. You texted me when Mike was speaking, and I figured everyone wants to tell him to look. The mustache is not fooling anyone at this juncture anymore, Mike. We know it's glued on. I don't know what
this agenda is against my mustache, man.
I'm just annoyed with Liverpool right now, because I'm like, come on, guys. You had one job. One job, just win. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I mean, if it's between Liverpool being top or, the Gooners being top, I'll take Liverpool. So I was like, you guys had one job, man.
Yeah.
One job.
Yeah, Hugo's smart because he knows.
I'm curious, and anyone feel free to answer this, but right now, the Premier League, I know we're almost halfway through. Is this kind of an amalgamation of too much quality, or everyone just kind of fumbling when they have their chances to really assert their dominance in this race? Because to me, Liverpool looks like, and Ash, I kind of want to start with you, because you were going to say something there, and I think there is like a little bit of a half-second delay, so you are at a disadvantage when it comes to speaking. But so I want to ask you, what do you like? I don't know. I just watch these other teams. I'm watching City, barely beat Luton. The City of last year, I felt like it'd be 5-6-0. And it's just they're barely getting by with some of these results. Drawing with us, drawing with Wolves. They're lucky we didn't win that game. And there's just moments I'm like, it's okay, so City are falling off. I personally, maybe it's my bias. I don't really rate Arsenal and what they're doing. I think Arteta's a fraud. I think the mindset that they have at Arsenal is weak, and I can't wait for the little toothpick Jenga tower that they think that they're building. I can't wait for it to come crumbling down personally, because I feel like it's inevitable at this point. It don't matter if it's been, you got to go. You have a phone call, Nate. Take care, Nate. Big up, Nate, every single time in the house.
Honey.
Take care. But Ash, what do you think? Are Arsenal should they just run away with it because of their oozing quality? I just don't see it.
Honestly, I think that City just have lost too many midfielders, and they just aren't able to figure out their midfield. So the service is not there for their forwards. The minute KDB comes back, if he comes back swinging, that could possibly be solved. They lost Gundogan as well. They just need, and like Calvin Phillips isn't working for them. They just need to like figure out that midfield. Once they do, they'll go back to being amazing. Also, Haaland was injured, so they're not as clinical up top as well. Although I do rate Doku, I rate Alvarez, I rate all these people, but they're not the primary goal scorer. So City just need to like tinker a little bit. They'll figure it out eventually, but maybe not. Let's see if they figure it out in time to make that title charge or not. That remains to be seen. I think with Arsenal, my God, they are so boring. If they win the league, I will be so upset that this team that nobody wants to watch, whose games nobody cares about, is going to win the league. That would just be sad for football. So I just hope that Arsenal don't win the league, simply because you would be doing football a big favor if they don't. I'm kind of rooting for Aston Villa, low key. Like, if Spurs, clearly Spurs have kind of fallen off. Let's see if that changes. I don't think it will.
It's a long race at this point. I'm saying nothing is impossible. Look at all these bozos running into each other.
Not ruling it out absolutely, but if it turns out that Villa can keep pace, I'm low-key rooting for them. I wouldn't mind Liverpool throwing together a title charge either. Anybody but Arsenal, because my God, I can't stand them.
Anybody but Arsenal, Ash. Anybody but Arsenal. Hugo, I see you've been grinning. You've been smiling. I'm with Ash. Anyone but Arsenal. You absolute frauds. No, I don't even care if it's City personally. I know you don't. Over anybody over Arsenal. God, I just get so angry when I think about them. I get so mad inside. But Hugo, do you want to tell me why y'all have first of all, where do you stand as an Arsenal fan, like with your long-term hopes of the season? Do you think y'all are going to win it like some fans? Do you think that you just want to see another fight, another I guess phase 6.5, whatever your phase y'all are on? Where do you as a fan, and then where do you see your team potentially falling at the end of the season?
To be honest, I'm hoping I'm hoping we go all the way. I feel like we have a better team than last year, even though, like Ash says, we are playing boring. I think boring games are easier than, let's say, a up and down basketball game or whatever. Last year we got too excited too early, and the season was way too long. And for now, I'm just hoping that we're within striking distance, within 3 points, coming last 2-3 games of the season, and hopefully we can take it. I do feel like we got better with Rice. I think he's a big upgrade, and hopefully we can take it. I'm not saying we are, but we'll be there. We'll be there at the end of the game, the end of the season, last 2 games.
Let me ask Cubed here, because I know this. Or wait, Mike. Hang on, Mike's got to go.
Yeah.
He's got a question for us.
Yeah,
Mike, what's cracking, my friend?
I've just got one question for the Spurs fans. Listen, I think that with a fully healthy 11, you guys are very good. You're very competitive. You're a very strong team. The problem is obviously depth. So my question would be, let's not look at this season. Let's start next season with a blank slate. Who do you need to bring in this January and this summer to get yourself in a position where next season you can start and basically say, you know what, like, I know that I have a solid opportunity to say that I'm competing for the title at the turn of that year, right? If you're kind of following what I'm saying, because I don't think that you guys are that far off with a fully healthy 11, and if we were playing FIFA and injuries weren't turned on, you guys would be fantastic. You know what I mean? But
yeah, we would genuinely be fighting in and around a better. I feel as though if we had a starting 11, we win that West Ham, we win that Villa. That's 6 more points. And now whether like. That's just my opinion because we weren't clinical, but we were still able to create. And that's the thing is we need some clinicalness in front. Heung-min Son can't be the only dude around the box that can finish. Like we have to have more options. And if Richarlison keeps getting these tap-ins created by Son, I'm fine with that. I don't really care. At the end of the day, all I want to see is getting more goals than the other team. And the way we've done it this season is not individual brilliance. It's teamwork goals. It's playing it from the back right and you work it all the way to the left, middle, then it goes right, work back to the left, then it's through the middle again. And I'm enjoying how we build up our play and how we play out of the back and we play with confidence with a high press, even when the teams want to press us. And again, I was told in the beginning of the year, but versus low blocks, we can't do this. But versus this, bro, every single club, no matter how they set up against us, we've created opportunities and we've allowed them opportunities. So that's just kind of the way that this style naturally, I think, lends itself to be. But thank you, Mike, first of all, for joining. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for being a member.
Too.
Even though you're
fraudulent
a
mustache
fan.
out. Yep, fraudulent mustache out.
That
Take
glued
care,
on
guys.
thing ain't
It's
fooling
glued. It's
nobody.
glued.
It's glued.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Captain Peach Fuzz. Okay, Captain Peach Fuzz.
Okay. Hey, no slander on my channel now. You can catch Mike Dust tomorrow on American Waffle over on Staffy TV, where he will be getting roasted. Rest assured. But Cubed.
What's up?
I want to ask you. I need you to roast Arsenal. I need you to roast somebody for me, Cube. And Hugo's right here, so why not? Why do you think Arsenal can't win the league? Or do you think that they can, Cubed?
I mean, they can, as in like, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. But is it probable? I don't know about that. I think that they definitely show some signs of, weakness at times. And I mean, they're bringing out results, but they're not necessarily playing the best football. So I think that, we had some of those issues last season where people were talking about beginning of the season, we're getting results, but we're not playing the best football. And we see there's a lot of weaknesses there and, people can exploit those weaknesses. So, and then our season didn't end very well. So I'm not saying obviously it's going to be to that extent, they're not going to capitulate to the extent that we did. But I think that, there are definitely areas where it can be exploited. But, something I want to say about, earlier you were talking about City barely winning against Luton. Put some respect on Luton's name, man. We've all basically barely won against Luton. I mean, Arsenal barely won against Luton. We barely won against Luton. Ours was 10 men, though. Just saying. So,
yeah, hold that, Hugo.
But, hey, but still, I mean, Luton's putting up a pretty good fight and giving a good game to a lot of top teams. But, and, to you, Ash, I don't want to see Villa win the league. I mean, I don't really think that a team that keeps putting players out in injuries, taking players out, injuring them for months at a time should win the league. So, but although it would be really funny.
Well, I would prefer them over Arsenal, Cubed.
But it would be funny. What would be funny Arsenal is that if they did, then you could really be like, wait a minute. So you sacked Emery. Like Arsenal sacked Emery, and then he won the league, and you're stuck with.
Oh wait, who? Who?
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Hold that, Hugo. Sorry. Good evening to everybody. I like it. They're like the villains of the Premier League. They're just shaking everyone on their way up to the top, and I kind of respect it. I'm with Ash. If I had to pick anyone out of, if it's not Spurs, out of the top 5, I would go Villa, then Liverpool, then City, then anyone again. I'm not even going to name their name because I don't want them to have anything good ever. And yes, I'm biased. Yes, when you ask for my opinion on Arsenal, like I'm not going to give you. I just look at Arteta and I see a fraud. I look at him and I see a guy who's like acting as if he's got some kind of bravado in which he does not have. And I don't know. Maybe this is just my perception through the telly. I don't know. Maybe it's also with a little bit of Spurs tinted glasses. But how many summers, how many millions of dollars you need to spend before it's like, because I'm hearing, and Hugo, this isn't directed at you, but I'm hearing the Arsenal fans be like, oh, well, in January is when we're going to actually start turning things around and looking good because then we're going to get a striker. Bro, didn't you just buy Jesus, who was supposed to be that for you? And now you just spent 170 million on 2 different players. That's not including the center back that you also bought that got injured in the preseason. Like, you spend all this money and it's still more. Oh, wait till we spend more money. Wait till we get more. 4 years, 700 million. And they're still talking about wait till January when we get to spend another. Well, I mean, Tony's going to come with at least 60, 70 million. We're talking in January, they want to spend another 100 million. 4.5 years.
When does Jurrien Timber come back? When does he come back?
He's supposed to be back in February or March. February or March, I believe.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess, if you got one player, it's like having a new player, right? Since he's been the entire time, the season. So when he comes back, it's like getting a new player for you guys.
And he'll be starting over Zinchenko.
Yeah. So it's like for that, in that situation, it's like you guys are getting a new.
But Zinchenko's the guy, Hugo. He's the guy. He huddles everyone up. They huddle really well. And then he says, watch this. And he flips a little switch and out come the waterworks. Look at the guy. He's the guy. To me, he's the epitome of Arsenal. Like Arteta loves to cry after a match when things don't. It's a fucking embarrassment. Let's fucking go, guys.
Gracias.
What's your opinion on Arteta, Hugo? Do you think, like, I know the man's clip who I played earlier, he don't really rate the guy. He thinks he's a fraud. And I like listening to that as well because I agree. But where are you at as a fan? Do you think he's a fraud? And then Chang, I'm going to ask you your opinions on Arteta after that.
No, I don't think he's a fraud. I think he changed a lot of the Arsenal back in the day before Emery. A lot of that mentality's gone. He changed a lot, and I like his coaching. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a good coach. Sometimes I do get mad at him because some substitutions or some starting 11s that he puts out, I get confused. But overall, I do rate him.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. I mean, I think he's a fraud. There you go, Chang.
Can I ask a follow-up question to Hugo?
Yeah.
So, if Unai Emery with Villa finishes above Arsenal this season, then is Arteta a fraud?
No, because I don't believe Arteta had anything to do with that decision. It was mostly the board.
Well, obviously he doesn't have to do with that decision. But I'm saying, is Arteta a fraud if Unai Emery finishes above him in the league this season?
Good evening.
No, I don't think so. I mean, how many more years of experience does Emery have? He's been in the game for a while.
Yeah, but then he would have come in to Villa getting.
He barely
less,
just walked into
getting
Villa,
less money.
Who just was shuffling
money.
managers? Didn't they have Steven Gerrard as manager not too long ago as well?
Yeah, for shorter.
While Arteta's been in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I rate Emery. I rate Emery. I thought he was a good coach. Just wasn't the right time at Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, that could be true. Like Jose Mourinho, I think is a great coach, but it happens to be circumstances in which we sacked him 5 days. Ash, you wanted to add something, and then I'm going to go to Chang. What were you going to add there about Fraudteta, or excuse me, Artets?
Just really quick, I think that even if Emery doesn't get ahead of Arsenal this season, the fact that he's doing it with half the team in terms of like Arsenal's quality, and you look at the Villa squad's quality. Villa's a good squad and they have amazing forwards, but in comparison to the Arsenal squad and the money that Arsenal has spent, I don't think it compares. So I'd give him props even if he doesn't qualify above Arsenal.
Okay, fair enough. Cheng, where are you at? I mean, as a rival, as much as you can, give me your most honest opinion with as least bias. But who am I to say give me least bias? Because I am pretty biased when it comes. Arsenal's the one club I just can't take my hate away from. When I think about them, I just want to punch somebody. But Cheng, where are you at with Arteta? Do you think he's a fraud like I do, or where are you at?
Arteta comes across to me as an early version of Pochettino, if I could put it that way, coming from a rival fan. He does have some very interesting ideas moving forward for Woolwich. I'm just going to call him Woolwich for this show. As a fan, as a Spurs fan, you would kind of think that this guy is overrated. He doesn't have the track record. He doesn't have experience to win things for any top club in a top league. But he's actually come into the league and surprised many people, especially with the run-in that they had, the number of weeks and months that they had at the top of the table last season. That's not down to pure luck. If you look at the results that they were able to grind out in last season and this season, I think if everyone else, all the other chasing clubs, they perform and they behave kind of like when all the other clubs were behaving when Leicester did the unthinkable that season. I think this could be a very interesting season for Arteta in seeing how no one else kind of like wants to take up the challenge to aim for the top of the league, especially when you just saw the highlights for the Liverpool and United game a few hours earlier. So for Arteta, I really do hope that I wouldn't wish them best of luck coming from a rival fan, but he is someone to look at going
As
forward.
a fraud.
As a fraud and as a manager, but I mean, props is where props are due. I mean, I think he's doing a good job. I have to say for Woolwich, and at this current climate, when you look at the crop of managers available, not just for the Premier League or for any top league in Europe itself, I think he's one of the managers to really look at in many years and many seasons to come. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does go all the way again. He pushes all the way for another title contention this season. And well, I guess only Woolwich fans will be able to tell you just how excited or how disappointed they may get come the end of this season as the matches pan out.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to surmise what Chang said for everybody. He said Arteta's a fraud. He may have him challenging, but irrespective of that, we all believe him to be fraudulent. Is that correct, Chang?
You hit the nail on the head right there, Jacob.
Hey, look at that thumb. That thumbs up just popped up and said, "Yep, yeah, I hit it nail on the head." Talk to me nicely every single time. Now, I do want to get the conversation away, but when I think about Unai Emery, it's very great. But look, there's a player in which I have had to personally apologize to. So if anyone has, or if no one else has a subject they'd like to talk about, there's someone I did want to talk about and get someone's opinion about. So Ash, I want to ask your opinion on this man right here.
Hey, listen, I'm one of those people who was always on his side. So I just don't think he's a winger. He's clearly shown us he's a number 10 and he's amazing at it. He's our Maddison replacement, That's great for us because we need two number 10s. I don't think we can play with just one. Because especially because Matters is injured half the time. Like in Leicester, also he's had a long injury record. So I think it makes sense to keep Kulu there in the 10. I love Kulu. He's just everywhere. His work rate is amazing. He runs for everywhere. His hold up play is great. He's just I know lot of people will be like he's predictable and things like that. And that's true when he's on the right, but in the middle, he can so in the middle he sort of can play with both his feet. And hey, he scored a goal with his right. Okay, his right foot scored.
He scored two. Two of them have been with his right foot this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I have to give it to Kulu. He not just his creative thing. He's sort of come to the fore with goal scoring as well now. And if you think about it, we are the only team in the Premier League who has not failed to score a goal in every single game we've played. And a lot of that is down to Sonny and Kulusevski. So I have to give him props. Of course, now Richarlison's come to the party. Long may that last. But Kulusevski, for me, I think, especially in the middle, playing that number 10, he's just amazing. And maybe he should keep the Batman mask on because there's somebody else playing under that mask.
Yeah, I love that because he even said the same thing too. Ash was, when I put this mask on, I feel something. I feel like an extra something. Speaking of masks and Cape Crusaders, perfect segue to Cubed. Our resident Lego Batman, Kulu. Is he? Sorry, I didn't actually mean to click that, but go ahead.
I said I have no apologies to give because I always was on Decky's side. So,
okay.
In fact, I actually was arguing.
I was hating on him. I can't lie.
I got into it with some people about Decky because I was actually defending him. So all I have to say is, told you all. So
there you go. Yeah, I mean, I respectively have to hold that, but it's one of those, Cube, like I always say, I see a player, I don't like what they're doing, I call it out, and hopefully they prove me wrong over time. And Kulusevski has, as of late, been proving me wrong because I said, as a winger, I don't necessarily like what he has to bring. And as I start thinking that during the game, I'm like, God, he's on the wing again. And then he gets an assist. And then he gets the goal. And it's like, I just think there's something about him when you open the box up of what he can do and you allow him to play freely. Now he's banging in goals with his right and he's not even thinking twice about it. So,
the way you're describing Decky, Jacob, it actually reminds me of another of a former player, which actually I had similar reservations about him when he first came over from Newcastle. That player in particular is Musa Sissoko, and I really didn't fancy him, didn't really rate him, but as his stature, as he imposed his brand of football into Spurs, and when he brought the results to the pitch, he kind of won me over. The way maybe Decky is winning you over now, Jacob, which is why that Christmas present that you received from me.
I got it right here. I know you told me not to show nobody, but it's pretty sick.
Yeah. So, I mean, as fans, the most we can do is to back the players, whoever they may be, whether it's a defender, a midfielder, or forward, whoever the manager trusts in fielding or bringing it onto a pitch to do a job. The best that we fans can do is to give them their full backing, and hopefully see the best that is yet to come out of them. And I think it's not just Kulusevski this season. I think it's pretty much every other player who is maybe performing below par. Not to say that there are many of that currently in the Spurs squad, but the likes of maybe, say, Bryan Hill, to a certain extent, if he does make cameo appearances, and you could also say the same for maybe Emerson Royale, if he does get into the team somehow in the coming months before the end of the season. So, like I said, it's not just for Spurs fans; it's any fan of any football club, you have to give full backing and your full support to your players. As maybe Hugo himself can testify to some of the players that Woolwich have in their books, which Hugo himself would like to see step up to the plate whenever Arteta gives them a chance to perform on a big stage. So once again, just to sum up, us Spurs fans, whoever Big Ange trusts to take to the pitch, just give them your full support and hope for the best.
Hope for the best indeed. Big up. A user for the first super chat of the stream says Kulu equals the Zorro, the Antonio Banderas, I believe. I believe he played. I think he was Zorro. If I'm
Yes,
mistaken.
he was.
Yes, he was. Thank you, Cube, my resident. Hey, you know what, Cube? I like that. Anytime I ever say anything, I know you will correct me if I'm wrong, and you typically know my references, all of them. So I feel pretty good about that. But speaking of pretty good, Nathan, hello. How are you doing? I don't see a video, but maybe we can hear you.
Oh, hello. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Apologies, my camera's not on. It's 12:30. I'm currently in Belfast, and I'm in my pajamas, so just thought I'd come on quickly.
Big up to Belfast. Yeah, no worries. I hear you perfectly fine. We were talking about Kulusevski, but obviously with the time that remaining, being a member, I want to allow. Is there anything you wanted to talk about, or do you want to speak on Kulusevski at all? The floor is yours, my friend.
I think you've generally covered it. Mast Kulu seems to be something else, and I think we've brought some of his confidence back. Putting him in the 10, he mentioned in his post-match interviews that he's played across the middle and across all of the forward positions growing up. And when he went to Parma, they moved him out to the right wing, and he seems a lot more free in the middle of the park with more ways to go, and he's not as one-dimensional. So yeah, I think it's good to see.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. When you put him in the middle, he kind of opens up a lot more options for him. And I think with a high football IQ, you could really get let's say the most juice out of that lemon, so to speak, when you give it a good old squeeze down the middle. Whereas on the right, when you give Kulusevski one of two options, either beat your man with pace or cut on the inside, we all know the answer to that question, or at least whatever Kulusevski's answer is going to be to that question is going to be cutting in on the left. But big up Stefan as well. Big up. Thank you for grabbing the membership as well earlier in the stream. And hello, welcome to the show. Is there anything specific you wanted to talk about? We were just speaking on Kulusevski, but obviously, if there's anything you want to speak on specifically, the time is now for you, my friend. Don't hear you, Stefan, if you are talking.
I think you have to unmute yourself, Stefan. You may have to unmute yourself.
I don't think he's muted. Yeah, I just don't hear him. I don't see the muted symbol. Big up. Oh, Nathan's device just disconnected, but he's still in the back. Stefan, I don't hear you.
Are you using a microphone, or are you connecting from?
I think he's just on his phone. Is what it looks like. And I see Nathan still in the back. It just says device is not connected. So I don't know if he had a phone call or something. I don't know what's going on there.
Stefan, you might need to get like mic access to your phone.
Yeah, you might have to give permissions. Give Stefan, if you can hear me, see if you can work out how to get into the settings of your phone and give permission to your microphone to access the application in which you're using to connect.
Yeah, cool. No worries. While he gets that sorted, Hugo, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts on Kulusevski real quick.
Yeah. As a rival, would love to. And don't do the Saka thing. No, I don't think anyone said he was Boohoo Saka, but go ahead. But
no, I actually rate him. I think he's a really good player, and well, we all know he's a boyhood gunner. Got that picture next to the GOAT, TT Henry. So I rate him, and he's a good player. It's a while to get into this form, but I really rate him. And yeah, you guys got a good player. I would take him as backup to Saka.
Hugo, you wish. he's not a boyhood gunner just because he has a photo next to Thierry. I mean, who wouldn't have a photo if they could next to Henry? Okay, he's a freaking awesome player, but
I don't know
Yeah,
any
I just
Terry
wanted to see
Henrys
Jacob's reaction.
personally. I don't know any Terry Henrys personally.
Only in a Barcelona jersey, not in an
He's,
Arsenal.
I know that guy. I know that guy. Yeah, I know him. He's a
He's
heck
the
of a
greatest
player. That
Premier League player of all
Barcelona,
time.
that Barcelona legend. That goes to Harry Kane. But we'll move it along. Very nice. Second runner-up would be Heung-min Son, and anyone who agrees or doesn't agree, you're gonna have to hold that, in my opinion. So
Is Kane top of the Bundesliga?
bro,
No,
he
he's
walked
not.
in and he is the Bundesliga. He is the Bundesliga. Bayern.
I would say one
honestly,
thing.
I think
Imagine if Bayern Leverkusen stop Harry Kane winning the Bundesliga in the first year. That would make me very happy. I think Bayern Leverkusen are top.
You know what's funny
get
is
Chalk that title.
I watched Leverkusen. Bro, don't start with me, Hugo. Don't you? Because honestly, I watched a lot of Leverkusen last year, and I was like, oh, I love Moussa Diaby and Jeremy Frimpong and Pierre Hincapie and Florian Wirtz. These are a lot of really good players. Talent. They got a lot of talent. And then they sold Moussa Diaby, and it's like Frimpong is now even better in the attack now that he doesn't have Diaby in front of him. It would be hilarious if he wins. It would be kind of funny if he does go to the Bundesliga and win 0 trophies. It's like, haha. And then say Ainge and the boys would go on and win the FA Cup. If we win the FA Cup, oh my God. All right, hang on. I'm thinking about it. All right. I don't want to think about the FA Cup because it's not coming up. But Stefan, microphone check. Oh my God. All right, hang on. I'm thinking about it. All right. I hear myself. I don't want to think about the FA Cup because it's not coming up. But that's kind of trippy. Check.
Can you hear? Can you hear me now?
Steph, finally, loud and clear, Stefan.
Stefan,
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh, brilliant. Sorry. Just trying to get my mic sorted.
I hear you now. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, all good though. It's pretty late here. I'm in the UK.
No, I love that kit though. I love that kit. That's one of my favorites.
I was in bed and then I thought, if I can get on the stream right now, then I'll just quickly put the shirt on and go downstairs and have a little.
That is, yeah.
Make my
day. That was the first Tottenham kit I ever spent money on. Was that one?
Yeah, I can't remember which year this was actually.
2019.
2019.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Looks a lot better than what Hugo's wearing.
Yeah, that's right. So I actually
was that key lime pie that he's wearing? I don't know what that is.
I missed the last few minutes of what you guys were talking about. So
we were just talking about Kulusevski, and I was saying how I was one of those people who said I don't think Kulu can cut it anymore. I've seen him play bad more than I've seen him play good, and I don't like him as a right winger. And then what does he do? He gets moved inside, and I'm like, okay, I kind of like him in there. And then he gets moved on the right wing, and he gets a goal and assist, wins us the game. And really just kind of making me shut up and apologize. Where are you at with Kulusevski, and where have you been? Are you one like with Cubed and Ash, you never lost faith? Or you like me, or you're kind of like, come on, guy, and then now you have to eat humble pie?
Well, I think it's clear to see he's got ability, and he's young, so young players can go in and out of form, can't they? So, but he started like a house on fire. Was amazing for those 6 months when he joined in January 2021. Was it 2021 or 22? He's not
Say that again.
21.
When Kulusevski first joined, so he was amazing in those first 6 months.
Was that January? I don't really know.
Yeah, he joined with Bentancur in that transfer window when we really needed some players, and then he managed to get us top 4 with Bentancur. So I think everybody's expectations were just really high for him after that. And last season he was like a bit in and out. He had some injury problems as well. But yeah, sorry, I'm just going a long way to your question. I think he is. I think he's on his way back there. To be honest, he's on his way back to those levels. I think we just have to remember that he is a young player, and now he has like extra responsibility because Kane's not in the side, and we need goal outputs from everywhere on the pitch, really. Which, to be fair, we have been doing. So yeah, I never really lost belief. I just understand that young players are going to come in and out of form, and that's just what it is. So he's going to be like that some games he'll be off it. But what I will say is like the work rate that he gives the team is phenomenal. Like I don't think no one else has done as much running in the entire league, and he's created the most chances as well. So it's not his fault that the team aren't then converting them. He's only doing his bit, and I think like any team in the league would take him. Like even Man City, I think they would take him. So that shows you where I'm at with Kulu.
Yeah. No, you got to sing his praises when he's doing well, and you got to tell him he's a naughty, naughty boy when he isn't doing well.
Yeah.
But real quick, for the last thing that I do want to go through, I want to ask everyone individually. We have Tottenham have Everton. I say we, but I just realized there's still key lime pie, Mr. Hugo. Which thank you so much for being here. And hey, he joined the stream, and then Ash hit him with something. I hit him with a few things. Cubes hit him with something all at once, and throughout it all, he had a smile on his face. And so, real quick, I want to say big up Hugo for being here through that. But I'll start at the top with Ash, and we'll work ourselves around. Everton Spurs. Everton been looking all right lately. They've been looking pretty good. Sean Dyche got these men fighting with conviction. Where do you see Tottenham Hotspur and Everton? What's your early predictions? Because I think we still got a whole week until we get there. Where are you at, Ash?
I think Everton's found a run of games. They've been doing really well, but we're at home, I think. So I think we should, even without Udogie and Bissouma, I think we should manage to get past them. It'll be a close game, though. It'll be a really close game. I see them. The thing is, while I see them defending really well, I'm not really that scared of any of their forwards. I think we can handle them as long as we sort of play well. And let's see Emerson putting in another Goat performance. Who knows? It might be fun to see him at left back. I see us winning like a 2-1 sort of that sort of a game. And I have to say about Hugo's like jacket, it kind of reminds me of bile a little bit. It's that color.
Like stomach bile?
Yeah.
There's a fun story I have. One time when I was in Mexico, they were serving me up. It was all-inclusive resort. They were serving me up. I don't know, they called it the Funky Lizard or something. It was this green drink. And the next day I was so sick from drinking it, so many of them, that I actually, you're right. It's not too far off. I didn't know if it was the drink or if it was the bile, but either way, it did look like the key lime pie color. But Hugo, outside of that jacket, you do look fresh, my friend. As a rival, where do you see this Everton versus Spurs? Or how do you see Everton lately? I mean, they've been looking pretty good. Sean Dyche, they got the 10-point deduction. They would be above Chelsea right now if it wasn't for that 10-point deduction, lest we forget. So they're a pretty good side, right?
Yeah. They've impressed me the last couple of weeks, and they've been playing really good. And Sean Dyche has got them in that system, and it works. It works for him. Dwight McNeil, I believe, he's a pretty good baller. And who was that? He brought in a couple players from Burnley, Michael Keane, or they've been over there already, so they know his system. They know how he plays, and it's going to be a tough match for you guys. Like Ash said, you guys are at home, but Everton's they're good, man. And I wouldn't expect any big scores. Maybe like 2-1, 1-0, 1 goal difference.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a close one too. It's a pretty good early prediction there, Hugo. Thank you for that. Now we're gonna do like a little snake around town with this little layout. Nathan, the Spurs fan, Everton Spurs. What are your early predictions, my friend?
Yeah, I generally agree with the last two comments. I think it'll be a lot tighter than people think. Games like this is why I miss Bentancur, because with Basuma getting suspended, we could have had a nice little number 6 come back to full fitness, and we wouldn't really be too worried. But I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. The 10-point deduction, I think Everton have took that amazingly, and it's kind of created an us versus them mentality. You can see they're running their legs off for Sean Dyche, and they're already out of the relegation zone. So I think it'll be close, but I think we can get the job done if Masked Kulu keeps his performances coming.
If who?
LeBron James.
I like that prediction, Nathan. That's a very good one. I wish that LeBron James clip was longer. I really do. I need a longer look because it's really quick.
LeBron James.
It's over too quick in my opinion. Luca 14 making a very good point here. I want to bring up says 4 clean sheets in a row for Everton, and they've not been only at home. That's home and away in the last 4. So that's a good. I'm a little concerned because it's not just missing Basuma. We will be also missing Destiny Ugodi. We will be missing him because he's accumulation as well. And you know what actually makes me mad now that I'm thinking about it out loud, Q, before I get your early predictions? I just got to say this. I was watching the Clash of the Titans today, a.k.a. Manchester United versus Liverpool. And I was watching it, and they did a little bit of a shoulder-to-shoulder. And I remember the announcer saying, why isn't that a foul? And I watched it, and it was a shoulder into the back, worse than what Destiny did, and Destiny got a yellow card.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, you know, I'm not going to open up this can of worms because we all know VAR is a bunch of bozos.
Did you see the challenge on the Wolves player in the West Ham game?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, this guy just like elbow smashed one of the Wolves players, and he didn't even get a booking.
And it's crazy how many of those go under the radar. Like even when we played Newcastle, it was Pedro Porro took an elbow to the back of the head. An elbow to the back of the head's not even legal in the UFC.
No.
But we got all these cameras catching all these angles, and no one could say, hey, that guy just elbowed him in the back of the head. And the ball wasn't even in play.
And Son, when we were playing Forest, like in the first 5 minutes, there was like...
In the first 90 seconds.
Yeah.
In the first 90 seconds, he was fouled 6 times by their captain.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You may have spoke about it already, but that Yates guy was asking for bookings all game, and that's normally dissent. And
yeah,
getting away with
that's
it.
his game. That's it. He's the type of player that's just on the pitch to
yeah,
do
but
that.
that's a cardable offense.
Yeah,
I
mean, but that's the thing is Dalot got sent off for less than what Ward was doing, or I don't know if that's his name, I forget. But I did speak about it on the post-match analysis where I felt like in the first 90 seconds, and I kind of lightly showed a little bit of what it looked like. But I remember the second time that guy got Son on the ground, they were kicking him. He got kneed in the face, no cards, nothing, just a fucking free for all, like a bunch of kids in a pit full of, you know, I don't know where everyone's at in the world if they've got these, but like in the fast food chains in America, they had those play pits where it's just like these plastic balls, hundreds of plastic balls, and you fucking throw a kid in there, they can get lost, right? It's like that, but Son was at the bottom of the pit and everyone's just kicking balls on him and like kicking him in the face. And it's just, to me, very egregious. And I don't care if it's 90 seconds into a match, that's a fucking yellow card. I don't care. And you fouled the man 4 times on 2 different occasions. Give him a yellow card, and then you calm the thing down.
Desperate measures. It's desperate measures because they couldn't take the ball off of him, so they had to team up on him and assault him because they couldn't get the ball from him.
It's kind of like a compliment.
From like mediocre players.
It's kind of like a compliment in a way because like we're playing all this nice football, and the only way teams can stop us is by roughing us up. Like you've seen a number of teams do it. So in a way, it's kind of like a compliment.
Doesn't feel like
that is true. I mean, go take out their best player. Cubed, I did want to ask you. Sorry, someone was gonna. Hugo, were you about to say something before I asked Cubed her?
No, I was just saying Saka gets the same treatment every week.
Well, Saka can hold that respectfully. Cubed, respectfully, Saka can hold that. Boo-hoo, go cry to your mama. I don't give a damn.
You mean Saka who loves to dive?
We'll pull up with more lawyers.
Sorry, when it comes to Boohoo Saka, quite frankly, he needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
Respectfully.
I just have something to say on this matter, if I may, with all these inconsistencies. The officiating from match to match, it's almost like they treat it on a very weekly basis as to how they go about, dishing out their yellows and trying to manage the matches, the officials. I just wish that there was some sort of review every at the end of every game as to how these officials go about managing matches, because this isn't the first time, and judging from the way the season has gone and from seasons gone by, this isn't going to be the last of what we're going to see, where different teams or different matches have different levels of officiating. And whilst there's nothing us fans can do about it, and we can just moan and complain and just give our 2 cents on platforms like this, for the teams, the players, the people involved in the beautiful game, I think that unless there are tighter measures and more streamlined sort of guidelines as to how this sort of incidences and this sort of punishable offences are dealt with on a very objective, let's say, very clear-cut manner, it's just going to keep on repeating itself. And I think it won't be too long before Woolwich or Spurs or any other team will be on the receiving end of a very egregious decision that is going to affect not only the match in particular, but the season as a whole, and how fans like us are going to react to this sort of grievances. And long story short, it's been happening far too long, and as things stand, I don't see a way to get around it anytime soon. Sad to say.
Yeah, for me, I think I have no problem with VAR with the technology. I think technology can only make things better, but I think it's just that it has to be better. It doesn't have to go away; it just has to be better. But Cubed, in regards to Everton, where do you kind of see this? Do you see this being a very close fought victory for Tottenham Hotspur?
I think it's going to be a tough game. I think we can win it.
Victory at the end of it, there, Cute. A little victory.
Yeah, I think it'll be tough. I think we can win it. I actually would be pretty confident we could win it without Basuma, but the fact that Udogie is also gone, that's actually more troubling for me, because I'm like, oh shoot, that's actually, like, I think that we don't have a lot of options to put there. So I think that that's actually more troubling for us. I don't know if you all saw the camera pan over to Sean Dyche when he actually was at the Forest.
Yeah, he was at our match.
He was at our match watching, sitting there. I was like, you're there getting ready. I know you're
He's
afraid.
there thanking Basuma and thanking Destiny. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, he was there watching, thinking about how he's going to beat us. so I think they're going to be definitely ready for us. That's for sure. They'll be ready for us, because he's there watching, prepping for sure.
Yeah, and I'm with Luca here. If you said a 1-0 win right now, I'll take it. I don't give a damn. But Stefan, let me ask you, my friend, Everton, would you do as Luca says and as I feel? Give me a 1-0 win right now. I'll take it, because they are looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're in good form, but I think it's one of those games where we should be winning. We're the home team. They did get tonked by United just a few weeks ago, so we know how bad United are playing. So if they can beat them, I'm sure we can. I'm just looking at their fixtures now, actually, and they've got a match tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tuesday, in the EFL Cup, which is a quarter-final. So I imagine he'll play a very strong side in that game, because they're playing Fulham at home. So that's going to work in our favour, I think, the fact that they're playing a game before then.
That's a good point.
So I think, depending on how they do, they could win that easily and get even more momentum, which wouldn't be good. But I think what they're going to look to do is frustrate us, sit in a bit, and then what they're really good at is set pieces, and what we're not good at is defending set pieces. So I think what they'll do is, whenever they can, they'll get that ball in the box and surround Vicario, and we just got to be smart and not give stupid free kicks away like we did against Villa. where they can put a ball in, and that's our weakness, isn't it? Dealing with set pieces. We've not really got anyone without Van de Ven there who's got real height. I think Emerson will come in. He's got a bit of height, so maybe we'll be okay. But you wouldn't want to keep giving free kicks away and stuff, and give them an opportunity to put the ball in the box. I think that's where we get undone. I think if we score early, I think there's a chance, we can go on to score a few more goals because the game will open up. But yeah, what we have to do is be careful. It's not going to be a game like West Ham or Villa where we score early and then just kind of be like, oh, that's that. Let's take our foot off the gas. And then it only takes like a corner or a free kick or whatever for them to get back in it. So yeah, we just have to be on it. I think we will. And I think my prediction will be 2-0.
A little 2-0. Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're worried about their front line there either. Dwight McNeil has looked pretty good lately. I'm a little concerned about Dwight McNeil personally. I think he's been being a heck of a little baller out there, making Dominic Calvert-Lewin look a little bit better than I think he is. But look, y'all, before we do get... Go ahead.
What side does he play on?
The left, I believe.
Okay.
The last few times I've seen him was the left. But I felt like last year he played on the right or something. But I'm pretty sure he plays on the left. So that'll be Pedro Porro's duty.
Yeah.
Which Pedro Porro admittedly has been one of our best defenders in a couple games. And that was one of the question marks.
First players right now, Pedro Porro.
Porro is? And is that because of his play, Ash? Or is that because of his, let's say, his energy and his vibe?
No, I have a tier ranking. It's the center backs always win in terms of beautifulness. But Porro's all right.
Yeah, he's got a certain vibe to him. I mean, shout out João Felix every single time. Can't mention Pedro Porro without mentioning João Felix.
Or his girlfriend, not João Felix.
Well, yeah, but I don't even, admittedly, I don't know the young woman's name, and yeah, I don't even want to mention it because she shouldn't be dragged into the football banter. She is sort of in a way but yeah, I'll leave that one there.
Yeah.
Look, I do have to end this stream very, very shortly. I guess I got to get dinner going for the family. But look, this has been the first members call-in here on the United Spurs of America. Trying to do this a little bit more often. This is the first one ever. So if not next week, then maybe try and make it a little bit of a bi-weekly thing. But first and foremost, I just want to thank everybody. I know the other people who jumped off: Mike, Ren, Nate Pye. Am I missing anyone that jumped off early? I can't think of.
I think you got everyone.
Ren, Nate, Mike Doss. Yeah, Mike Doss, the fraud with the fake mustache. Big up Mike Doss. Look, also Hugo, again, big up. Rival in shark waters, but he did not fear. He just surfed his little surfboard and appreciate you being here. Look, I want to say, Ash, as well, I do appreciate you being here. Make sure you are subscribed to Talking Ball, where you can find, when is the next show on Talking Ball that you are, and tell us a little bit about it real quick for those who don't know.
So I do a bilingual show on Talking Ball. It's in Hindi and English. It's called White Chart Lane, and it'll be one day after every Spurs game. So this one's on Sunday at 6:30 Indian time. So that's 12 p.m. UK time. I don't know what that time it is for the rest of y'all. You'll figure it out, or press the notification. Somebody will tell you. The YouTube gods will tell you.
I was muted. What a great way to do that. But thank you so much. And there's the link right there. You can find Ash, Colin, and Jose with El Tel Cocarrel. You can find him at Talking Ball. There's the channel. Make sure you are subscribed over there to get some more. Chang, is there anything you want to plug or shout out before we say goodbye?
All I can say right now is a big thank you to you, Jacob, for even allowing me into this channel, doing this first ever members call-in. It's an honor, a privilege, and I couldn't be more blessed right now to even be on this channel and seeing each and every single one of you, whether it's Ash, Stefan, C-Cube, Nathan down at the bottom, Hugo, props to you as well for showing up, and to Mike Das, who appeared earlier. It's been a blast to even be on the same platform, sharing the same screen with each and every single one of you. I really do look forward to any other appearances in the future if I may be given that same privilege in the future. But it's been a blast.
Absolutely.
And what can I say? Up the Spurs. Enjoy the weekend, every single one. It's going to be a fantastic end to the year, and I simply cannot wait for the coming weekend's fixtures. That will definitely serve up a blast to each and every single one of us. So, with that, thank you everybody, and I really look forward to seeing each and every single one of you soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. And of course, man, appreciate all the support for the channel that you bring each and every time. I've been telling viewers, look, you want to be here whether you know if Chang is or not, because sometimes you don't say anything. You just be gifting memberships, and you know what a better way to celebrate. And I'm trying to give, some more bang for the buck for the members. So I'm going to be doing these members show. I can't personally commit to weekly, but I will say bi-weekly is my goal. If not as much as I possibly can. So again, get your memberships. You can join and you can call in. But Chang, thank you so much for joining. Stefan, is there anything you wanted to shout out or plug before we get on out of here?
Nothing to plug because I don't have my own channel or anything. But it's been great coming on here and meeting everyone. And it's been absolutely brilliant. So I've loved it. So
appreciate that, man. Hey, and thanks for grabbing your membership today. I've seen you in the chat long before today, but I'm just saying big up for grabbing it. Appreciate that.
That's cool.
All right. Well, look, Janice, Chang, real quick before I keep moving. Janice says Chang needs to be Jacob's manager. He's been taking notes. And he already looks more organized than me, because if you look at me, you can pretty much tell how unorganized I am. But thank you, Janice, every single time for being here. Chang is very much professional, so thank you for being here as well. Cubed, what's up? You got anything you want to shout out? I mean, other than the the third dub incoming when we play Everton.
No, I just I make the rounds. One of the founding fathers of
this is true
of the memberships here. So. Congratulations on all the success, Jacob. That's all.
Thank you. The channel is doing it's doing all right. Thank you. You've been here since the channel had like 20 subs, so thank you so much. Cute for always being here. Nathan, is there anything you wanted to shout out before we're going to get on out here? I'm saving Hugo for last because I figure it's going to be something like Kai Havertz is my man, waka waka, but Nathan, do you have anything you want to say before we get out of here?
A catchy tune. I was listening to that, watching the Arsenal stream. It's quite a bop, to be honest. But no, thank you for having me on the inaugural show. When it's 1 a.m. here in the UK, so I'm going to go to bed, but I'll have my camera on for the next one. But thank you for the opportunity. And it's been fun talking Spurs, so thank you.
Hey, man, thanks for staying up late with us. It is 1 a.m. So you got Monday already around the block for you.
Work in a few hours, which is fun, but it was worth it.
Well, I appreciate you being here, man. And again, next one I do, everyone, you are all welcome back. I think I kind of like it this way better. I was like, I'm going to try and do a structured show and do like one-on-ones with people because that may be a little cool. But I don't know, the more I thought about it, I was just like, why don't we all just get on there and hang out together? You can hold 10 people in there. So there you go. Hugo, real quick, Chang, my guy, gifting 5 memberships out here. Let's see who he gifted them out to. Well, he didn't choose, so it's all random. Hippo Noise, welcome to the family. Max OJ, Zonk Zooks, that's a cool name. Trump's Lion, or Trumpa Lion, and Mark Cousins. Mark Cousins, big up, Mark Cousins. Big up, Chang. Thank you so much for gifting the memory. My friend, you have already gifted us your time and your words and your thoughts. You did not need to do this, but it is appreciated nonetheless every single time. Hugo, my friend, what's cracking, man? You got anything you want to shout out other than the frauds that you have on your squad, or the fraud is your manager, the fraudulent owners, anything like that?
No, just thank you for having me on, and we troll each other every other super chat, so it's all love though. And thanks for having me. Come on, you Gunners, top of the table.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, we don't look at the table in December. You can hold that. But pick up
Only in
Dennis,
October?
a third of the weighted 10K. We will look at it in October. That was a fun time. Also, November 1st was my birthday. We were top of the league on November as well. Just for the record. Look, Chewy's already getting up, shaking his legs. He's ready to go. I gotta go. But look, I appreciate every single one of you who've been on this panel tonight. Those of you that were on the panel and left early, I appreciate you as well. And even the members that didn't call in, if you're just chatting the whole time, I appreciate you immensely. But look, we will be doing these more often. So if you do want to come be a part of the show in this manner, go ahead and grab yourself a membership like Stefan did. Or get gifted one by being here, like Chang gifted everyone. And big up a user as well for the lone super chat today. I appreciate y'all's financial support. It does mean a lot. Look, make sure you do hit a like. How many likes are we on? Where do we end up tonight? And I do got to end this poll before I end the stream as well. 4 likes away from 100. Is there 4 more of y'all that can hit that like before we go? Because I see 122 votes in the poll. And if my math tells me anything, that's about 30 of y'all that didn't like the video, but you participated in the poll. So let's see what the result of the poll was. But 4 more people, Shirley, but don't call me Shirley. We could get that. 82% says their favorite result on the weekend was the Spurs 2-0 win. And I got to admit, that was my favorite as well. Not biased at all, but that's my favorite. 10% says Mighty Palace Eagles drawing with City is their favorite. And, you know what? Arsenal and Chelsea, I put both of y'all together, Hugo, and you still got the least amount of votes. Hold that. Hold that.
I might have been the only one that voted.
Well, I think at least like 2-3 people, because it has 3% of 122 votes. 3% of 100 is 3. I could not tell you what 3% of 122 is, but so more than 3 people liked it or chose that option, excuse me. So big up to those of you that did. Big up Ellie. Were you our 100th like, Ellie? Was that you? Big up Chang says we have hit 103 likes. Big up everyone who has hit that like. And again, make sure you are subscribed to Talking Ball with Call. It is tagged in the title of this video. If you are watching on playback and you're not looking at the live chat, it is in the title of this video. So please do go subscribe. Colin is a good friend of mine. This channel wouldn't be bumping and thumping in the manner it is without him. And it wouldn't also be, oh, look at that. Big up Chippy with a €10 super sticker before we go. Says thank you. There's a little sticker saying thank you. Big up Chippy O'Napoli. Did I say Chippy O'Neal? Chippy O'Napoli. Big up Chippy boy. I believe the artist formerly known as Jimmy Nipples. I believe that's who this is. I believe in one chat they said, yo, it's me, Jimmy Nipples. I just changed my name because Paul was getting tired of seeing the nipples. So big up Chippy or, Nipples, whatever you want to be called, my friend. Big up yourself. I appreciate your donation to the channel, my friend. Very generous of you. Thank you for sending a super sticker. Just saying thank me. Well, thank you is what I would say. And big up Loki Chamuka, Colorado Spurs. Hey, that's right here. That's this right here. Colorado Spurs, you already know. Shout out Leo with Mile High Hotspur as well for that. But big up everybody who has joined. Thank you so much for everything y'all have done for the channel. I'm going to end that poll right now because everyone's loving the Tottenham Hotspur victory. So big up everybody in the chat. I'm looking to bring something tomorrow, but if not Tuesday. So as always, folks, do as Stefan does. Up the lads. Come on, you Spurs. Hugo, that's profanity. Hugo, I'll get kicked off of YouTube if I let people see what you're trying to show people. That disgusting Arsenal badge. Yuck. Yawn. I put you together with another club. You only got 3% of the vote. Hold that, Hugo. But anyway, I do appreciate being here, Hugo. I hope y'all have a great rest of your night. So as always, folks, stay blessed, stay fresh, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs.
United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Destiny Edoji. Oh yes. Oh, Destiny Edoji Day.